skeletons on closets and making new deposits. I'm in my element, no ollies. These children popping mollies. I'm so intelligent, my honesty turned into philosophy. I go hard in the paint, the harder I play. Nigga, I'm like Harden on James, a problem to face. I don't wear my heart in my sleeve, just look in my eyes. Nigga, you can do what you need, I do what is right. I don't fucking want what you have, just look at your life. Nothing about it sacred to me, it's out of my sight. That just means it's out of my mind, it's not worth the fight. Nigga, yeah, I'm out of my mind, I'm out of my mind. Hey, you did what you did. Yeah, you did what you did. Give a fuck about intentions. Don't give a fuck about intentions. You can watch what I do. You can watch what I do. Just stay the fuck out my mentions. Stay the fuck out my mentions. That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you laid. That's a bed that you laid. Is you playing? Hard to paint you. What the fuck is you saying? I only go where they pay. What kind of game is you playing? We go hard in the paint you. That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you laid. What kind of game is you playing? We go hard in the paint you. What the fuck is you saying? I only go where they pay. What kind of game is you playing? We go hard in the paint you.
Swolenormous.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Testing, 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 test, testing, testing, testicles, testing, testicles. Welcome everyone to episode 1647 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular swolecast, beercast, broadcast, gamecast, mancast, pimpcast, sleepcast, slaycast, in the realm, because I'm not flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. What's going on? Beaches, booshes, bustas, hustlers, and y'all hoes. It's your boy Papa Swolio back with another Sunday Funday Q&Anus, Ask Papa Swolio live. So we're going to kick this off. The ball is in your court. I'm going to be announcing some things that you can pay attention to this week. But remember that right now is your chance to ask a question. So a couple things. Tomorrow is our accountability meeting. And I know. I'm excited.
Fucking Catalina wine.
It's the fucking Catalina wine.
Very excited. So tomorrow, 12 noon Eastern time, we have our accountability meeting. So you can show up there. We have some amazing Swole fam stories. We have our standard releases for the week. We got new stuff to talk about. And it's going to be fun as always. So if you want to get exclusive access to all the content for members only, you got to join at Swolenormousx.com. So you got to go do that. So make sure you go do that. We're going to bust this little beesh out of the nut. You got to make sure that you drop it down below. But if you have a question, use hashtag AskPapaSwolio. And you can do that in the comments, and I will read your question. If you don't use the hashtag AskPapaSwolio, hashtag APS. Otherwise, I probably won't see it and or won't read it. So make sure you use the hashtag as appropriate down below, and we'll get right into it. We got a couple stories, actually. Got a couple questions. Let me see what we got here. Got a couple things to get started with. As you allow those questions, you put those questions down in the comments. I open those up here. We got some from Instagram stories that we'll take as needed. I think we answered that yesterday. So these questions I see, I'm like, oh my God, ridiculous. All right, so drop those questions down below. And if you got a lot of questions, now's the time to talk about them. All right, so first off, let me bring this thing up here. We got one announcement first. Sick fucking gains. All right, here we go. Hey, a little Tess Hornaday here. So tomorrow, Monday, November the 9th, 12 p.m. Eastern time, noon. And I'll stream live inside the private Facebook group. And of course, it'll be uploaded later into Swole TV. But for the live stream, it will be private inside the private Facebook group. And of course, if you're a member, you get access to that. Super easy, super simple. You can learn more at Swolenormousx.com. Join the fam today. And that's where tomorrow's episode will be. So you'll not be able to access that anywhere else but inside Swolenormous X tomorrow, 12 noon Eastern time. Gorillas. 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 So, first question we're going to take from Instagram stories, and then we'll get into the first ones here. Bougie and Buff asks, Papa Swolio, with all this election stuff going on, should I do leg or back day tomorrow? I will be the first and the most humble to tell you I don't give a fuck what you do. Chances are you need some more leg work, bruh, so go do some legs. All right, that's all I got to say about that. That's all I got to say about that. I do some fucking legs. Do some legs. Most people need to do leg day tomorrow. I'm going to do leg day tomorrow. You do legs, little papa. With all this election stuff. What the fuck does election stuff have to do with you getting your goddamn pump on? My goodness. All right. That being said, let's bust this beesh out of her nut. Put some respect on it. Speaking of America, beesh. I felt like we got some Sunday Swole. We can't have everyone hashtagging APS for a Swole card. So it's got to be something different. So hashtag Sunday Swole. Leo, drinking as always, boozing. I'll join you. Got a little bit of the remnants of some coffee here. So hashtag Sunday Swole for a chance to win today's Swole card. And like I said, we'll see what questions we got going on. If we got a bunch of questions, we got a bunch of questions. If not, then we'll be here for less time. So maybe a shorter episode today, but we'll see what questions we got on the horizon. Who knows what you want to talk about? The serendipity of Ask Papa Swolio. So for those of you that are new to the channel, drop some cherries in the comments below. And remember, you can find out more, all the free downloads, free classes in the description. Also, swolenormousx.com, like I've said so before. But also, if you got a question, hashtag APS, hashtag Ask Papa Swolio. Let's see, some comments. I'm trying to scroll for some questions. Make sure you drop them again because I might not see it. Please tell me you forgot about J-Rock. Yeah, I still give zero fucks about Japanese rock. Still give zero fucks. Still give zero fucks about it.
First, take a big step back.
You don't have to go fuck your face.
And literally fuck your own face!
I just don't care. No, I'd listen to American rock before I would listen to J-Rock. I'm not even, I'll be honest, I'm not even the slightest bit curious. Not really. I'm sure I will allow my life to just happen across it at some point. Don't force me into it. I want to come across it naturally. I want it to be pure. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Papa Swolio, what type of equipment is needed for Papa's workouts from the website? Depends on what you're trying to do. We have workouts. We have content for kettlebells, for bands, for dumbbells, for barbell. Depends on what you have access to. So if you're looking to purchase equipment or asking what can you do with what you have, that's a more appropriate question to give a little bit more context. So, you know, everyone uses different equipment. Some people go to the gym. Some people have their whole gym at home. Some people have a full-blown gym. Some people only have some dumbbells and some. So you have modifications. You have exercise you can swap out. And plus, what's great about the Swole fam is if you have any questions, you can post up and then people give you substitute exercises. We also have an instructional video library. You can swap out different exercise depending on what tools you have or what you're looking to purchase. So it depends on if you're trying to customize based on what you already have or you're looking to buy things, what would be optimal to purchase. Those are two different things that we can discuss if you want to get into a little bit more deets. Jared Rush on Facebook So I'm trying to get down to my old high school weight. When I was in wrestling in high school, my weight was 180. I'm currently 250 to 259. I'm wondering how I can get back to 180. Eat less, exercise more, and remember, you're not in high school. So you're not going to weigh what you weighed when you were like a child. You're an adult. Like, how old are you now? What's your high school weight? Like, how old are you now? If you're in your 30s or 40s or something, it's like, well, you're an older adult. So getting back to what you weighed in high school when you were partially developed is a whole other conversation. But unless you're just referring to when you were younger. So if you're currently 250 to 259, you got to clean up your diet. I recommend elimination diet. You got to start training regularly. You got to manage your caloric intake, which is vastly and drastically improved by eating quality foods, which you're going to determine by doing an elimination process outlined in our Nutrition Jumpstart Inside the Kitchen, inside Swolenormous X. But I talk about the elimination diet a lot. You're cutting out a lot of the inflammatory garbage foods that people normalize in the standard American diet. So it's very basic, eating less, caloric deficit, but quality foods is the primary approach you should be focusing on. Fasho. I still want that robe you're wearing yesterday. Where did Mama Swole get it from? I have no idea, but I can find out. No clue, but I'll find out. It's a great robe. I like it because the hood was oversized. I almost wore it tonight, but it got too hot. It got too spicy. It was a spicy meatball. You know what I'm saying? A little spicy. Little spicy. What we got? How's the lighting looking? How are we looking? Little hova exposed. Let's see what we got here. Let's get a little Tessie going here. Turn that down a little bit. There we go. Now we're looking good. All right, Justin, let's see what we got here. Dun, 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 dun. Papa Swolio, when it comes to barbell lunges, what are the differences in the muscles when it comes to step forward or back? Don't step forward and then step back to a standing position. If you're going to step forward, keep walking. Take a step, bring your feet together, take another step. Stepping backwards is going to help much. Stepping backwards is much better for your posterior chain. It's going to help a lot more with, from my experience, it's going to be much better to load the glutes, to put less pressure on your hamstrings. You're going to get less tendency to arch your lower back too much, get the lower back involved. Anterior pelvic tilt, stepping back will help you activate the glutes a lot better. Much more control too. I prefer doing that or walking continuously, bringing your feet together, tapping to regulate the step forward. But a lot of people overstride and they're not consistent with their strides when they're walking. However, when people step forward and then push back to standing, I hate those. That puts a lot of pressure on the knees and it doesn't really make much sense. Anthony, what's your thoughts on forced cramping? I'm not sure what that is. Forcing a cramp, that sounds awful. After a set or workout to promote definition. I don't have any thoughts on it, to be honest. Forced cramping? You mean isometrics? You mean flexing? You mean posing? That's important. Helps flood blood to the muscles and to improve, to promote definition. What, like intramuscular water and stuff like that? Not really my interest. Or are you trying to step on stage? Or what? What's going on with that? Forced cramping. Haven't heard that term. 478 will regulate. Papa Swolio, how do I hit the inner thigh? Is there a certain type of lunge or squat? Sure. You can do wider squats. Try sumo squats. That's excellent. Also, different foot positions and toe positions, being hip positions actually, for RDLs are great as well. You can adjust that. You can go wider with RDLs. You can go more narrow. You could do different positions like that. Internally rotated for leg curls, for example. We'll hit those as well. But sumo squats are great. You could do lateral lunges or lateral squats. There's also great things for plyometrics if you're doing skater squats and such, which will help with a lot of that stability in the frontal, how would you call that? Yeah, in the frontal plane. Looking swole as ever. I don't look swole. I'm covering it up. I'm a little bit this. I don't feel swole. I feel flat today. I'm fasting today. Just having some coffee. I'm fasting. Tomorrow I'm going to pound. Today fasting. Today, no food today. Well, coffee, kind of a little bit. It's kind of fasting. Papa Swolio, my PT friend, personal training or physical therapist, is nagging me to take more time to recover. She's concerned that I'm overtraining, but I feel great. Should I back off or is she wrong? I don't know. I mean, you're the only one that knows. How do I know? I don't know what you're doing. She's concerned. You feel great. Feeling doesn't necessarily mean that you're on track. Your body you'll get used to whatever you do. You'll get used to excessive exercise. It's more important to focus on recovery than it is to worry about overtraining. Usually overtraining is a product of under recovery. So feeling great is good. I'm not sure what you're doing. I'm not sure what you're training. Like sometimes objectively, you can look at a program and be like, whoa, you are not giving yourself enough chance for recovery. But it's also what you have prepared your body for, what your body is used to. You'd be amazed what people can adapt to and what people can feel as a new normal. It's hard to test those things sometimes too. So there are a lot of potential signs of overtraining and symptoms, physiological symptoms. Could be appetite. You lose your appetite or you have excessive appetite. Could be exhaustion, not feeling like working out. Could be chronic pain, soreness lasts longer than normal. Could be strength, your strength starts declining. Those are signs that you're under recovering. So it depends. I find it much better to focus on, am I recovering enough? Instead of overtraining, if you think about it as under recovery, you start giving yourself more opportunities to see progress. Most people don't recover or focus enough on recovery. Ray, Papa Swolio, is pain normal in one's late 40s and early 50s, say knee or back pain? My mom says it is when you're her age. I disagree with her. I wholeheartedly 1,000% disagree with her. Pain is normal at any age if you have improper posture or you have an impact injury or you have something that is causing that pain. It's not normal at all to have pain. It's more likely for people to have pain when they're older because you have more time and wear and more compounded issues from scar tissue and injuries. So if you don't take care of yourself for 20 years, why do you think a 20-year-old can go out drinking and train and trash their bodies and they kind of feel fine? All of a sudden people are broken down in their 40s and 50s because, you have twice as much life of fucking yourself up. That's why people don't get necessarily diabetes in as much quantity when you're 10 or 20, because when you have 20 more years on top of that, 40 or 50, when you're 40 or 50 years old, you have that much more time to trash your body. That's why you have a lot of these diseases and cancers and things that come out in older age because of aging, which is a disease in itself, but also with the compounded effects of all the bad habits, it just starts coming out in greater quantities. So just because you have pain in your 40s and 50s, there's some people that have pain in their 20s. That's not normal either. Pain isn't normal. Pain is a sign. Pain is a response. Pain is your body telling you that X, Y, and Z is going on. You just have to be fervent and interested in getting to the source of it. So I disagree 1,000% with your mom. That's an excuse. That's just justification for being like, oh, well, I'm getting old. Fuck that shit. That's nonsense. Stephanie Merritt. What up, Steph? Papa Swolio, what are your opinions? Let's get some gorillas here. Let's get some more soundboards. What are your opinions on different types of barbells that shift the center of gravity, like a safety bar with handles versus a standard? Different tools for different people. Sometimes, for example, if people have different, like a shoulder issue, if they can't get the same type of external rotation, that might be a better position. So that's a major reason why I like front squats over back squats. Back squats put a lot of pressure on the lower back, and it can be really hard for people to get up to a proper back squat position because of the upper body, because of the thoracic limitations, because of limitations with their thoracic spine and their external rotation, their mobility in the upper back. So personally, it's not my favorite. They're great. Squats are great, for example, but there's different bars and different tools for different situations. So back squats are great. Front squats are great. There's hex bars for deadlifts. There's straight bars for deadlifts. It's just with technology and with the industry getting so big, everyone's also trying to create something new. So you have the marketing aspects, you have the gimmick aspects, and you have the real aspects. But just think of them as tools. What works best for you? If you love the way a bar feels, seriously, what people tend to do, and this is a big problem with the fitness industry, is that just because a bar squat or a back squat exists, people feel like I have to do a bar squat because people standardize and base their worth as a fitness person based on how much they deadlift or how much they back squat. It's like, who cares? If you feel better with a certain squat position and you get a sick fucking pump and you feel great and you have that definition or that shape and that development, do that. Like, who cares what other people do? Who cares if you do an exercise that looks weird and you use a bar, but hey, that's not a legit squat? It's like, fuck that. What does that mean? A regular bar squat's not a regular squat either. When do you find a perfectly balanced bar with perfectly balanced weights anywhere in nature? To make it more realistic, it would make much more sense to have an unweighted bar where you have 100 pounds on one side and 85 on the other side, where you have to do some, counter stability. So nothing like that is completely organized and completely uniform in real life, aside from those weights. So you have to understand that as well. So I would customize. I would just make sure you kind of revolve it around the functional movements as a human. You're hitting your posterior chain. You're doing something where you're lifting stuff off the ground as like a deadlift or an RDL. You're doing some type of overload, skeletal overload like a squat, where you have a weight either on your front, on the back. The difference of like where you put it doesn't really seem to make much sense to me, or much of a difference in terms of just the fundamentals. Of course, if you're competing or you have any kind of like, you want to take it to the moon in terms of bodybuilding or strength, then of course certain moves have been proven over time, because we're all generally the same as humans, to be more worthwhile moving forward for certain protocols. But as long as you're, for example, lifting with a front rack position, whether it's with kettlebells, whether it's a bar, it's much more realistic. When do you lift something, put it on the back of your neck, and then stand up with it? You're more likely to squat down, pick it up, get into a front rack position, and then put up on a shelf or lift it somewhere. It's just more of a realistic movement. So in my opinion, it helps you a lot more. It's much better for the lower back because you have the weight on the front, so you're much more vertical with the lower back. It does trigger a lot more with the lower trapezius and the posterior muscles of your upper thoracic region. So your external rotators, your posterior rotator cuff, your rhomboids, your middle and lower traps. It does activate more of that, but you're able to be more of an upright position. So you need that mobility, and it takes pressure off the lower back. And it just makes more sense from a human standpoint, which is why I like front squats and front rack position better. Because anytime you get really to that end where it's like your last rep, let's say you're using a bar, and let's say you get stuck, you're not going to fall backwards and choke yourself. You're going to just drop it forward. It's very safe. It's much safer than doing a back squat where you can just blow your back out or blow your knees out, have some kind of horrific injury. Just my experience with doing both types of squats. The only issues that I've had with either knees or lower back or anything like that has always been, literally, the only issues I've ever had were from back squats. And I'm not saying that it wasn't my fault. Of course it's my fault. Maybe I didn't warm up enough. Maybe I didn't have as much mobility in certain areas at that time as I thought I did, but front squats, I've never had a problem. Athena, are there any workouts to help get rid of stomach fat? That's a combination of general training, health, caloric deficit, eating quality foods. Nothing targets specifically. I'm scrolling down because I'm missing some. So if you didn't get your question answered, you can repeat. Sarah Vidari. Sunday Swole. Ask Papa Swolio. Look at you loading up those hashtags. Look at you, dude. Look at you. You get it. Can you do yoga twice a day? Sure. What would you recommend for wrist mobility? Stretching it, doing yoga would help for sure. I have pain in my wrist when I do push-ups. I would look into not so much wrist mobility. What you're looking for is more wrist strengthening. So I would recommend, do I have it? There's one of these. You can also look up TheraBar. I have these in my Amazon store. If you're a Swolenormous X member, you can check it out in the Get Started series. Also things like this, which are great for working the extensors, which get underworked in life. So there's different strengths of these. You can get like medium, strong. These are available on Amazon. Strengthens the muscle. I keep it right here on the desk. I forget to use it, so I should probably start using it more during the show. So thank you for reminding me to use it. It's right there in front of me too. But a TheraBar is great too. So it strengthens the extensors. You could do eccentric movements with your forearms, and that will help balance out the wrist. But also when you're doing push-ups, for example, you might just be pushing too much into the heels of your hands. So you want to push into their finger pads a little bit more, push into that thumb and index finger, and that'll help a lot too. Especially when you're doing yoga like downward dog and such. A lot of people dig the heels of their hands, dig their wrists in, and just put a lot of pressure. You get that numbing. Also, if you have a very thick and fluffy yoga mat, you tend to sink in too much, And you might think that that'll be better, but personally, I like a more resistant and denser yoga mat because then you don't get that wrist sinking in. And if you have a really fluffy yoga mat, it's also going to be fluffy and it's going to challenge your stability, but it's also going to affect you from mastering your stability a lot more in many cases. Booger Bubble. Papa Swolio, how beneficial is warming up and cooling down before and after a workout? Doesn't that happen naturally or should it be within a certain time frame? Curious about specific parameters. There's some interesting conversations about this. Some people don't believe so much in working out because, well, if you're in the jungle and you're running from a tiger, you're not going to be like, hold on, let me stretch my hammies first. However, if you're in a wild environment and you're in the jungle and you're moving, one, you probably grew up there. So you don't have the same type of limitations and repetitive movement patterns that the average American or the average civilized quote unquote person will have. And also you're just more activated. If you're walking through the jungle, you've been moving. So you're kind of already warmed up. You're just more physical by being someone that lives in a tribe. So that just being said, from a functional or evolutionary standpoint, since we're not living in that instance or in that situation, it is important because it does prime your body. It does activate and shift your body into the sympathetic nervous system mode, which is fight or flight. It does help. It primes your joints, your muscles. It elevates your heart rate. It starts getting your blood sent to your muscles. So it prepares your body for that type of activity. It will create that kind of more, increase your body temperature, which will allow your muscles, tendons, ligaments to be more elastic in the sense that you are less at risk from a quick stretching and shortening movement that can, when a muscle is stiffer or colder technically and not prepared or primed, you could have some kind of issues too. And plus, when it comes to a warm-up, there's different types of warm-ups. There's general and specific. So like going for a walk is a general warm-up. A specific warm-up will be doing chest movements and chest activation exercise and mobility movements for your upper body and your shoulders before a chest workout or upper body workout. And it's very important because also during a warm-up period, you're also assessing how you feel for the day. You're assessing your strength. You're assessing, oh, maybe, because when you're warming up, it's like, oh, my shoulder kind of feels a little bit weird. Let me warm it up. Let me activate it. It can give you an idea of maybe I should adjust. Oh, my shoulder feels a little bit weird. Maybe I need to activate my posterior rotator cuff. So maybe you throw in some prone presses or some posterior deltoid before you go into, let's say, a dumbbell press or a barbell press. And that might save you from just jumping into that and then having, you have inflammation afterwards because your supraspinatus was fucking trapped in there and you didn't open up your shoulder enough before you started doing your workout. And then now you have some pain for the next couple of weeks that you have to deal with. So it gives you an idea of where you're at for that workout, as well as everything else I mentioned. And cooling down helps you with venous return, with essentially massaging your nervous system to come back down to resting level. So it helps lower your respiratory rate. It helps your body settle back down. It helps your body return blood flow back to the heart so it can get reoxygenated and all those things too. So it is very important. Now, to the extent of what you do, some people like to warm up for a long time. I'm personally not a big fan of doing like an hour of cardio before you lift weights. I feel like that's ridiculous. So if you want to do them in the same session, I generally recommend doing your cardio afterwards. Maybe doing like 10, 15 minutes to get your heart rate up. You could do some kettlebell stuff. I like Turkish get-ups and stuff. If you're trying to do legs or kind of a total body workout, Turkish get-ups are amazing. Allows you to kind of just really get into full body movements, gets your legs, gets your rotation, all different planes of motion, gets your hips involved, your shoulder stability, your shoulder mobility, gets your heart rate up. It's nice peripheral heart action as well. It's a long answer. It's a long fucking answer. I think I nailed it though.
He's heating up!
I'll pretend like I nailed it. I nailed it. I said I nailed it. So that means I nailed it. I'm just gonna own it. I nailed it. If you don't think I did, go fuck yourself.
Come on, don't bullshit me.
All right, let's see here. So Amanda, follow up. So this is going back to the question where your friend was saying that you overtrain and you're like, I feel fine. She's like, you're overtraining. I feel fine. You lift 4 days a week. You do event training 1 day. What is that? What's event training? And you run 2 to 3 days. I don't get sore. I sleep. You're not overtraining. You run 2 to 3 days. What does that mean? Obviously, big difference. You run a mile. You run 3 miles. You run a marathon. Obviously, a big difference. Just asking. You don't get sore. Soreness, that doesn't mean good or bad. I mean, that might mean you're not progressively overloading yourself enough. It also might mean that it doesn't mean that you're not growing either. Event training. Like you're doing like triathlon type stuff or what? 4 days a week. My question is, you're running 2 to 3 days. Are you running every day you're not training? Or are you running on days where you are training? I mean, that, for example, that would be overtraining for someone who never really worked out properly or didn't progress properly. Overtraining is relative to your capacity and what you've progressed into. So what's a normal workout for me would put someone in a hospital that's never worked out before. Like they would be there with like compartment syndrome, and there'd be like drain their freaking legs, or, you know, and that would be a warm up for me. And again, a workout for me for like a pro bodybuilder might be, you know, a light workout for them, like a hard workout for me. It's all relative to what you're doing and what you're used to. So something that's average for me would be something that destroys someone else, and vice versa. You know, there's some absolute savages and just maniacs out there that do stuff that I'd be like, nope, fuck that. That would break me. You don't have to be able to do everything. Nah, that was a little bit deeper than your question, but let's see. Vincent Pham, what up, fam? Haha. Oh.
Yow.
Papa Swole, I'm a bodybuilder and I've been using the Swolenormous programs for a few months now. Do you feel like yoga is good for bodybuilding? Fuck yeah. Abso-fucking-lutely. 1,000%. It's going to help with your mobility. It's going to help with your muscle activation. It's going to help with your recovery. It's going to help with your 1,000%. 1,000% VP. 1,000%. You're asking if it's important for a proper bodybuilding program. Well, that's going to come down to opinions. Some people might be like, don't do yoga. There are some people that say don't stretch and don't do any kind of real mobility before strength training, because doing any kind of like inhibition techniques before you're trying to get strength output out of a muscle could be detrimental. But I mean, that really just applies to, honestly, that will apply much more towards like a power lifter. So if you're it depends on what your goal is. If you're trying to be a healthier person, get stronger, take care of yourself, minimize risk of injury, like the way I promote and the way my content's designed, it's designed for many different levels up to expert. I mean, there's very niche approaches to certain types of things. Like if you're a specific athlete with a specific sport, you do horseback riding, or you're doing bodybuilding specifically, then there are certain protocols that in a normal program or in a normal approach or in the average approach or the most common approach, that would be like, no, why the fuck would you do that? Why would you segment body parts? Why would you do a chest day? You're going to do a total body day. You should do 3 total body days a week. It depends on what the goal is. If you're a bodybuilder, you need that kind of overload. And it takes a lot of time to create that kind of work capacity and workload in a workout. If you're doing total body, you're going to train for 3 or 4 fucking hours. Doesn't mean it's not possible, but doesn't mean it's ideal for everyone, physically or physiologically or psychologically. So I think it's important. I think it's essential. Yoga, mobility, absolutely. For show. What we got here?
Because
Let's get another one.
60% of the time, it works every time.
That doesn't make sense.
It really doesn't. Scrolling down. All right. Let's take another question from Instagram stories. Again, drop your questions down below. I do love Ask Papa Swolio live. Every single Sunday we go live here. And reminder, if you want to join the Swole fam, you get exclusive access to Swole Text, where I will notify you every single time I go live. You'll never miss a live stream. So it's huge, and it's less than $3. You can't beat it. You can find $3 under your fucking taint, and you could join the Swole fam today and get access to tons of stuff, including Swole TV, bonus content that you won't find any other place. Tomorrow is exclusive for members. So unless you're a member, you will not be able to get access to the accountability meeting, which is fucking fire. We love us some accountability meeting because we got new releases tomorrow. Monday, November 9th. That's tomorrow, Monday. And that's at 12 noon Eastern time. So we'll be live and we'll announce some new releases. We'll do a ton of amazing fucking Swole fan posts. So I'm stoked about that. And I do love the Ask Papa Swole, because you never know. You never know what you're going to get, Jenny. You never know.
Lieutenant Dan.
What the questions are going to be or where they're going to be. But a lot of these questions from Instagram stories, make sure you follow me at Swolenormous, where I do the question stickers. Make sure you follow there. That way you can submit your question. It's an easy place to submit a question. Plus it's fun because you can only type so much. And sometimes it just comes across as like a complete shit post, and we can laugh and hold hands together. But this is from Chris the Giant 77 on the Shitstagram. Papa Swolio, what's the best way to shed those last 20 pounds? The same way you shed the first 20 pounds. The same way. High quality food. You can check out the content on the 7 pillars. I'll put that behind my face and I'll disappear in my head for a second. Community, nutrition, training, recovery, mobility, mindfulness, consistency. If you're hitting all 7 of those pillars, that last 20 pounds, whether it's 50 pounds, 100 pounds, 5 pounds, 1 pound, will come off a lot easier. And at the same time, it'll give you a lot more perspective. So a lot of times people that hit plateaus, it doesn't mean that's the dead end. It just means that it might be a period of reassessment. It might just be a period of rebalancing, that you are on the brink of additional progress. But practicing your brain gains and being mindful, practicing meditation is so important because it gives you that perspective and that patience, which is what's required for long-term success. If you are not patient, you're not going to have amazing success. Just period, end of story. You need to be patient. You need to understand that it is a process, is a journey. Some people hate those terms, but it is what it is. It's true. It doesn't change the fact that it's true and that this is for the long term. So if you're trying to really just think about 20 pounds, 20 pounds, 20 pounds, it's not really any real way to live your life. It's just to be glued to that scale and judge your worth and judge your progress based on what a fucking scale says. So if you are truly approaching your nutrition and your life properly, as per the Swole fam, and the 7 pillars, then you're approaching your nutrition from a highest quality standpoint possible. And of course, that's going to help you mitigate your excessive caloric intake. If you're not losing weight, you're consuming too many calories. And you also might not be getting in enough nutrition. You could have other issues with sensitivities and allergies and issues that might be retaining water and having other side effects with hormone imbalances because of those said foods. I couldn't speak for you, Chris, but just some initial thoughts there to get you up to speed. But if you want to download the 7 pillars, check it out. Swolenormousx.com. It's right there at the top of the page with the red banner. You can click and download for free today. So you can check that out over there. And again, I'll just put this up on the side here. If you don't know what the 7 pillars are, 7 pillars, beaches. You all know what's up. Swole fam knows what's up.
I like to caress rusty spoons.
I do as well. Oh, let's see what we got here. What are your thoughts? How many of you are subscribed to all the podcasts over on Apple Podcasts and Spotify? So brand new episode that just went live just before this podcast. So brand new Red, White, and Swole. Also, there is a brand new, how many of you caught the Swolenormous audio experience? That was about parenting. That was about having kids. I think I mentioned it yesterday, but I didn't get into the comments. Make sure you go and check that out. It's about making excuses and things that people commonly justify. Just like that post before, or that question before, when someone was saying that my mom said when you're in your 40s or 50s, it's normal to have back pain. It's normal to have knee pain. Is it really? Or is it just the average? Just being normal doesn't mean that you should have knee pain. Doesn't mean that you should have back pain. You have knee pain and back pain as an effect of injuries, of compounded improper movement, of imbalances. Like, you shouldn't have pain. You could feel amazing at all ages. Could be from your nutrition, could be from your recovery, could be from your training, could be because of a car accident you had when you were 20. I mean, there's a lot of shit that people go through in their lives. So you can't just magically take things away. So you might not be able to avoid pain. You might have to deal with it chronically just because, but you can maybe mitigate it and improve other things that will help reduce the effect of it, or the negative effect of it on your body. Thank you, Jessica. Appreciate that. How many of you are subscribed? Drop in the comments. I'm subscribed. Thanks, Jeff. Spank ya. Oliver, nice robe. I have one just like it. Love me some robe gains. I know what I'm talking about.
Baby.
I know. It's fantastic. Ray, I have thought about helping my mom out. I don't want her taking pills in her 50s and the rest of her life. Scary how she's being brainwashed by big food and big pharma. That's that mainstream media, that MSM. There's a lot of brainwashing going on these days. Oh, thank you.
He's heating up.
There's a lot of brainwashing going on. That's a tip. Big food, big pharma, that's the tip of the iceberg. That's what she said.
Is this a list of things I did to your mom last night?
Eric, I was wearing my fuck average shirt and my daughter said, I know what that word is, but it's bad, so I can't say it.
I was kidding! I was only kidding!
Eric, your daughter is going to grow up a beast. A beast. Phil, I'm almost 40. I still squat like a motherfucker. Good man. Good man. That's what I'm talking about. Moderate carb maven. If you've trashed your body for years, knee pain can be a consequence to deal with. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. You know, it's normal because the average person trashes their body. We're in a society now that because of technology, human beings collectively have more intelligence or more information at our fingertips than ever before. We have more information as a society than ever before in human history. And the individual, you have access with your phone, you have literal access to the entire catalog of human information. Period. End of story. History. And very few people are using it. So when you have all this information about how to take care of your health properly, about how to repair, fix, train, improve your life, it doesn't mean that you don't have to sift through bullshit. That's where I come in. That's where the Swole fam comes in. Fitness without the bullshit. We're trying to eliminate that need to sift through this fucking cesspool internet, garbage, shitstorm, fuck pile of garbage marketing and nonsense. That's why we take it down to the 7 pillars, because these are the fundamentals that cannot be disproven. You need community. You need a good environment around you. You need to be eating quality foods. That way you can help control your environment that continuously wants you to be consuming in excess. Training. You need to have some aspect of training in your life. Overload for your joints, for your muscles, for your body, so you can remain a functioning human being for as long as possible. Recovery. You can't be just smashing your body all the time without aiding your recovery. And that comes down to sleep. That comes down to nutrition. There's a lot of other of those pillars that go into recovery. Mobility is so important. You do not want to not be able to wipe your own ass or touch your toes or be able to move, get up off the ground when you're playing with your grandkids. Like, these are things that you might not care about when you're 20 or 30. Like, oh, I'll be fine. Yeah, until you're not fine and you're like, oh, well, it's when you get older, that's just what happens. That's a justification for and rationalizing so you don't regret your entire life of trashing your body. That's how people rationalize their lack of action. And then you got mindfulness. You'll have greater patience. You'll have greater neutralization of negative self-talk. You'll also have some more perspective on, arguments, communications with your spouse, significant other, friends, family, coworkers. It'll help you go more internal. It'll help you with your community. Mindfulness will help you create that environment. And of course, consistency. If you're doing that shit every day, tell me you're not going to be fucking crushing it. Every fucking day you're doing those 6 pillars. You're taking care of your community, your environment, what you're watching, what you're listening, who you're talking to. Your physical environment is part of community, what foods and what shit you're bringing into your house, literally what you're cultivating. Are you surrounding yourself with positivity, or are you surrounding yourself with a bunch of fucking garbage people and garbage foods? Nutrition, quality, training, you got your recovery, mobility, mindfulness, you are set. Straight up. It's not complicated. A lot of people are missing many of those pillars. Most people, like we always talk about, they focus on pillar 2 and pillar 3. They focus on 2 and 3. Calories in, calories out, and lifting. Well, you're 2 for 7. That's not a good percentage. Not a good percentage. Oh, yeah, that's a crack. One more. Oh, strong side. The more connected we become, the more disconnected we are from ourselves. Ooh, na, 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 na.
He's heating up!
That was a good one. That's a quotation. Jessica, I'm almost 43 and I squat and deadlift like a beast. Take care of your body and we'll take care of you. Michelle, best way to shed those last 20 pounds is be mindful of food, no sugar, move a little more, sleep more, do yoga, keep happy, stop stressing. It will come off. Community is key. Hey, what's up, Randy? Just got here, but wanted to mention it regardless. Yesterday, I finally got over my fear of cholesterol and saturated fat. I was always told both were terrible for you, which led to serious food relationships. For the first time, I've had beef and eggs in over a year, and it was the best thing I've had in a long time. Thank you, Papa, for helping everyone who comes through. Dude, stoked for you.
It's the fucking Catalina wine mixer.
The fucking Catalina wine mixer.
Good shit, man. I'm glad you're figuring it out. That's the whole goal. That's the goal of the elimination diet. That's the goal of the Swole fam. That's the goal of the 7 pillars, is helping you customize your lifestyle. Everything from pillar 1 through 7 is helping you customize your optimal life. All right. And it doesn't mean that all of a sudden, it doesn't mean that you're just going to get it. It takes practice. Sometimes one of those pillars is going to fuck you over. You're going to fail, or you're going to fall short, or you're not going to nail it, but it's going to expose itself. And when you're practicing mindfulness and you're practicing your brain gains and meditation, it helps you be more aware of where you're falling short, so you can fucking pick up the slack and bring it back. Bump, 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 bump. What was this question here? This is from Slav Caro. Why the Matt Damon thing?
Matt Damon.
Because of posts like this, because of questions like this. Why the Matt Damon thing?
Matt Damon.
Not that I'm a fan, not that I'm not a fan, but just curious. Love you, man. Big fan. Why the Matt Damon thing? Why? Because we don't want anyone going Slav Caro. That's because we don't want anyone going full Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
Or Forrest Gump. We don't want either.
My name's Forrest Gump.
No Damon, no Gump. Why the Matt Damon thing? Because, end of story. Be fucking cuz. Matt Damon for slow people.
Matt Damon.
Bum, ba-da, bum, ba-da, bum, ba-da, digga, 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 digga. Jesse, I think I neglect the recovery pillar. I never trust that I've worked hard enough. Yep, that's a common one. That's a common one. Moderate carb, bad processed, fake fats and high insulin affect cholesterol. Once I got that mastered, my blood work is great. Good stuff. All right. Any final questions? You got any more questions? Drop in the comments down below. Remember, Swole fam, tomorrow, accountability meeting, 12 noon Eastern time for members. If you want to get access to the Swole fam, you want to get access to the private groups and everything, so you can catch tomorrow's episode. Otherwise, we will be back on Tuesday. But remember, tomorrow's episode is for members only. Check it out, swolenormousx.com. That is written down below and also in the description. Make sure you check it out. This is a live cast, so I think it's in the description if it's not there yet. Just click on a previous video, but swolenormousx.com, all the details. You could join for less than $3. Got some specials still available for Fuck Your Resolution season. Don't miss out on that, ya bish. Or I will.
I send you a hobo's dick cheese.
Les and I are going to send you a hobo's dick cheese. So be vigilant, fam. Be vigilant. Be aware that you might get a hobo's dick cheese. I don't want you to be... I don't want to, what a Matt Damon question. I know, right, Phil?
Matt Damon.
Cerny, Papa Swolio, when doing Swollen 7 dumbbells, instead of going through each exercise and then repeating 2 or 3 times, I like to do 3 sets of 15 to 20 for each exercise. It doesn't matter if I do it that way, right? Let me read that again. Instead of going through each and repeating it, so instead of doing it vertical, you're talking about horizontal loading versus vertical loading. Essentially, vertical loading means, let's say you have 7 exercises. Let's say you have, just for example, let's say you have bench press, then curl, then squat, then whatever. You do 1 set of bench press, 1 set of curl, 1 set of squat. So that's vertical loading. It's what's used during a circuit, for example. But horizontal loading will be bench press. You do bench press, bench press, bench press, bench press. Then you do curl, curl, curl. That's more horizontal loading. So you like, instead of going through each exercise and then repeating it 2 or 3 times, I like to do 3 sets of 15. Sure, you could do it that way. That's one of the benefits. And there's going to be some more masterclass and stuff coming out with some new updates that are coming soon to Swollen 7, because that section is going to continue to get expanded. There's some cool stuff, different structures and things that we're playing around with in terms of some of the new releases and updates coming for the rest of 2020 and 2021. That's going to help you navigate that, because the Swollen 7s can be expanded. they're designed for 7-minute workouts, but can also be expanded into vertical loaded or horizontal loaded full-blown workouts. So it's cool. I want you to think of the Swollen 7, like any Swollen 7 workout. Think of a Swollen 7 as like an accordion. It's right here, and you can expand it. You can contract it, you can expand it, you can play it like this, you can play it like that. So the building blocks, like there's so much manipulation and so much adjustability with all the content inside X. Yeah. Right? Not bad, huh? There you go. Oh, thank you. Thank you. No, I appreciate it. Yeah. Thanks. Respect. Respect. Papa Swolio, what's your favorite audio for your soundboard? Matt Damon, perhaps?
Matt Damon.
Perhaps. There's a lot of them. I'm keeping adding new ones. I don't like children. I don't like to pick a favorite. Wow. I don't like to pick one. There's so many amazing options.
Eat shit, Derek.
So many options. Ren Farrell. Ren. I had no idea what the Matt Damon was about.
Matt Damon.
Let's see. Julian Awakens, the community pillar, is the hardest now because of all the negativity and distractions they throw at us in the media and in real life. Yeah, it's coming to a head. It's getting out of control. The manipulation and gaslighting is fucking brutal. And the thing is, the average person doesn't have the time or the awareness to dig deep enough in so many different aspects of what information is out there and what to formulate their own thoughts to kind of like sift through and distill down to the actual objective facts, because that doesn't matter anymore. And with the combination of mainstream media and social media kind of blending over, and I pretty much was saying this the other day that I feel like 2020 has been essentially the breakdown of the virtual world and the real world into one, because people in real life are emotionally acting like trending hashtags do. So when you have trending hashtags online, people are emotionally getting dragged across it, which is why mindfulness is so important, which is why brain gains is so important. Otherwise, you're just going to be fucking emotionally hashtagged throughout your life, and you have to control your shit. You can't be dragged around and controlled. Otherwise, you're fucked. I missed it. Can you start over? Yes, I can. What's going on, fam? It's your boy Papa Swolio back with another episode 1006. No, I can't. Not going to. Go fuck yourself.
Go fuck yourself.
At least you're here now. Annika Skulanda. How tough are the other programs? Done the 90-day dash twice. I want to make it harder, but I don't want to burn out. Well, I'll let the fam describe. How tough are they? That's relative. You can adjust and scale them. Yeah, Eric's right there. Everything is scalable. Yeah, you can scale them. You can adjust them. You can level up into a program like the Scorched Earth, for example, and you can just do less volume. So you can kind of dip your toes into it. They're definitely harder. They're definitely more challenging. There's less rest periods. There's definitely more challenging, but it's progressive and it's also scalable for a reason, because I want people to not be overly intimidated and to be able to handle it, but at the same time, they're not for slouches. There you go. Thanks, Josh. Annika, both are scalable, done Scorched Earth, and in Swole season could start with the minimum sets. Ren loves Swollen 7. Excellent. Thank you. Glad you like it. 8.9, 10. 8, 9, 10. Solid 9. There you go. 8 out of 10. Sunday Swole 9.1. 8, a 10. There we go. I'm getting on my game here. I'm getting on my burp game. Nailing it. Making my presence known. 8.7 out of 10. This is a good round. 9 out of 10. A 10. A fucking 10. There you go. I know those movies. I know Varsity Blues. Can't put that one past me. Hello McFly will be a great sound for some of the idiot posts. Yeah, I have some of those. I have some.
All right, then leave.
Yeah, I do have some Back to the Future. I couldn't. I had to go. I'm gonna have to go rip those from somewhere else. I haven't been able to. Just need to sit down, lock into that a little bit more. I need another day where I spend a lot of time and invest. It takes some time to get what exactly the way I want. Anything Step Brothers is gold. I agree.
Put my nutsack on your drum set.
Ooh, that's good. Something about Mary. Franks and Beans. That's a good one. That's a good one. Where am I writing this down? Yeah, Franks and Beans. Yeah, I have like little pictures and stuff. There's certain ones I want to get, and I keep forgetting to go and Athena, our swole weeb. Cancel culture is out of control. People are getting their lives ruined by past mistakes that happened years ago. Yeah, it's fucking nuts. It's insane. Well, we'll find out. We'll find out. Somehow, I guess people want. I don't know. I mean, if Joe Biden ends up being the official certified president-elect, I guess people voted for cancel culture. I guess we want that, I suppose. I'm surprised everyone wants more of that shit. I'm shocked. Who wants to live in a world like that? Who wants to live in a world where you're like on threat of being fucking eliminated or canceled or accounts shut down? A friend of mine got shut down, lost his, for no reason, he doesn't know why, got his Facebook account shut down, Instagram shut down, and I think like his Oculus accounts or something like that, like got everything shut down, has no idea why. Completely shut down. Can't open a new account, can't do anything because it was his personal account. Can't do it unless he has a new IP address, a new cell phone. It's fucking insane. Insane. Have you seen my baseball? Yep. Have you seen my baseball? Franks and Beans. Let's see here. No, it wasn't Alan. Well, his account, I think his got shut down, his Instagram. I think it got shut down for something with copyright issues. I think he was, I don't even know, I forget the detail. But Alan from Every Damn Day Fitness, I think his account, he was like, he tends to go after people and like he was going, I don't know if he does that anymore, but he was going after in the comments back and forth. I think someone just got offended and they reported a post because it was a picture someone used. I don't know why that was grounds to delete his fucking account. But no, another friend. But yeah, again, it's like, yep. Another one. Yeah. I agree. So anyway, I mean, in terms of the politics things, you can go and check out. I just dropped another episode of Red, White, and Swole. I wasn't going till Monday. Usually it's during the week, but just kind of bonus episodes. But there's another one that's live now. So another Red, White, and Swole. Go check it out. I mean, I read a lot of stuff and a lot of sources. And I check out things on the main vein. I listen to a lot of independent journalists. I have a lot of subscriptions to independent journalists. I listen and I'm obsessed with learning, reading, podcasts, lots of different stuff. So Red, White, and Swole is a distillation of a lot of different things that I'm hearing and listening to. And it's very objective. I try to keep it more objective. I have my own opinions and things that mean a lot to me, which I think is the way people should vote in general. And there are things that are important to me when it comes to censorship, when it comes to and freedom of speech, when it comes to these big tech companies, when it comes to everything that I cover from like Extra Thirsty here and the bullshit social justice woke ass nonsense. Can't give that shit an inch, man. Anyway, you can go and check that out. So new episode, I'll leave that there. You can go and check that out if you want to go into that more. Eric, have you seen the newer social media app Parler? Yep. Yeah, I have an account there. I don't really use it though, but I have it. It's branded to have no censorship and to let everyone speak. So far, honestly, the way I'm thinking about that is if you have a Parler account, let's say you go in there and you use it, I wonder if these other tech companies, and rightfully so and logically so, they probably have other types of awareness that you have one of those accounts. So how will having an account on Parler affect your accounts on other apps? Just something that sticks in my head, you know, because a lot of the things that you agree with in terms and conditions allow these apps to know what you're doing offline activity. And most people aren't aware of that. So, you know, every time you accept terms and conditions, you're accepting shit that is in that fine print that you never read. My shit's fucking my shit's banned to hell. My shit doesn't grow. I get no distribution on my content. My videos don't get reach. I barely gain or lose followers. It just doesn't get distribution. They never recommend my videos. And that's where like 70 or 75% of all views on YouTube come from recommended or suggested, I should say. So if you're not getting suggested, you're not getting anything. So it's all on them. And the frustrating part with social media, for example, my content, I'll post something that gets 200-300 thumbs up and 1 or 2 thumbs down. It's like, yo, there is a high percentage of people that are enjoying my content completely, to the point where, and that's only the people that are hitting those thumbs up. A lot of people just like videos and don't even use that. Most people enjoy my content, but they don't show it to more people, unfortunately, but we'll see. Maybe it'll change, probably not, but maybe it will. Maybe it will. Oh, they know because of Google Pixel. Well, they all have a far reach. That's nothing. That's tip of the iceberg. Moderate Carb says, even a Google search has far reach. I looked up coffee, and the next time on Facebook, I get coffee ads. I'm like, how they know? They know because of your IP and the tracking cookies. They know that. I use I use all that too. I do the same thing. Everyone does that knows what they're doing. It's user behavior. For sure. Which is why you'll do a search for something and then you'll go on someone else's website and you'll see an ad for it, because Google ads, they know that you are on that page and they know that you have searched for X, Y, and Z, and they'll show it to you. Facebook is no different. It's all connected. It's all connected. Thank you, Matt. Appreciate it. Well, I think you will get my videos if you're not subscribed. If you're only subscribed to like a couple channels, they might show you mine. And if you're always watching my stuff, they'll show it to you, because obviously this person's diehard. Because here's the thing, YouTube wants you to keep on using YouTube. They want you to keep on using YouTube. And if you're using YouTube to watch my stuff, and let's say primarily or only my stuff, they're more likely to show it to you because, hey, this person likes using YouTube and uses YouTube to watch Papa Swolio. They're going to show, hey, he's live. You like to use YouTube, right? Come here. Because then they'll show you ads or wherever they show you ads, and that makes them money. So it benefits them to have you coming to YouTube to watch the content that you want. It doesn't mean that they're going to promote my content to a lot of other people, because it's against their beliefs and it's against their sensitivities. Because of course the mukbangs, of course the face fuckers are fine. You can stuff your fat fucking face all you want. You could be a disgusting fat fucking slob, and that's fine when we have 40 to 50% of the population overweight, obese, diabetic, pre-diabetic, dying from heart disease and cancers left and fucking right. That's totally fine. But I talk about not pandering to everyone's fucking needs and people taking personal responsibility for their health, and, oh my, let's not show his posts. Oh, Matt Damon. He's a mean bearded person. Meh. That's what it comes down to. Yeah, when was that? When did you get a DWG video recommended? Anyway, we're going to talk about that coming up, because there's going to be a lot of stuff that's going to be exclusively for Swole fam members. A lot of the stuff that is going to be coming is going to be exclusively for members only, uncensored. There's going to be a lot of stuff that will be posted, but you'll get the full experience inside Swole TV as a Swole fam member. We'll talk more about that tomorrow, some of the projected things that are coming. But there's not going to be a lot of the stuff front facing is going to be, a certain way. And if you want the real savage shit, you're going to have to join in and pop into Swole TV. What's up, little mouse? Shame they're not sharing your videos. It was your no-nonsense, blunt attitude that finally got me going on my weight loss journey. Without it, I might never have took that step. That is what I like to hear because that's why I do it. That's what it's about. It's about not hearing the same old fucking shit that doesn't work for most people. If we're coming up to the majority of people in this country that are just trashing their health, it just goes to show that whatever the average system or the average fitness person or the average health person is doing is not fucking working. Because if people keep on getting fatter and fatter and fatter, then what most people are doing or teaching or preaching or executing on is not fucking working. It's not the right fucking way to do it. Otherwise, it'd be getting better, right? Seriously, isn't that the definition of insanity? Is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different fucking results. Yet people are still promoting the same old fucking shit as if doing a bicep curl a little bit differently with a different angle is going to be the maker or breaker of you getting better results. People are still talking about spot reducing fucking body fat. With all the information at your fingertips, literally you have the brain of the entire eternity in your fingertips with your cell phone, and people are still trying to spot reduce fucking fat. Yeah, how much does that fat fuck weigh nowadays? One of these days, I'm just going to get straight up banned for calling someone a fat fuck. You are body shaming. That's what happens when you bring wokeism in full force. It's going to happen one of these days. I mean, my God. There's not even a point at this point, there's no reason for, I mean, what am I going to change? There's enough stuff online to get me banned from some, if they want to. Oh my God, delete every video I've ever done. Robing and gaining, maybe. I'm scrolling. I'm missing some shit. Nico Cotto is so disgusting. Nasty beach. Yeah. Well, we also got some more reactions. There's going to be some more nuts on chin. I'm doing some more reaction videos coming up. Some fun shit. Anyway, I'm still going to continue having fun with it, but I want to rub fucking YouTube's nose in it. Literally all this mukbang shit. I'm going back. Took a little breather for maybe a week or two, but I'm going back. I'm going back to put some sack on all this bullshit. Enough. Remember the YouTube thing? Let me see if I can bring that up actually. I have that image here. The image on YouTube. So for those that don't know, remember they released this shit while their flag and all the stuff. All right. So this is the policy, right? This is the YouTube policies and YouTube help. So if you're posting content, don't post content on YouTube. Don't post content on YouTube if it fits any. Do not post content on YouTube if it fits any of the descriptions noted below. Extremely dangerous challenges, which could be food, by the way. Challenges that pose an imminent risk of physical injury. I don't know, 15, 20,000 calories sounds like that to me. Dangerous or threatening pranks, instructions to kill or harm, hard drug use or creation. But check out this one. This is the one that we really have this really affects us or my content the most. Eating disorders. So don't post content on YouTube if it fits any of the descriptions below. Eating disorders, content that praises, glorifies, or encourages viewers to imitate anorexia or other eating disorders. Notice how they don't talk about binge eating. They name anorexia by name, but they don't put binge eating or mukbangs. Notice that. That's the legal out. That's the legal out. They did that on purpose, obviously. That's the way to avoid litigation, to imitate anorexia or other eating disorders. They don't list it by name on purpose because they make so much money off fucking mukbangers. Eating disorders are characterized by abnormal or disturbed eating habits which negatively affect a person's health, including eating non-food items. I've shown videos of honeybee eating like fucking hairbrushes. I know it's stevia or whatever, but it's still showing eating non-food items essentially. And then disturbed eating habits. I think binge eating 50,000 fucking calories at a sitting and trying to gain weight is an eating disorder. I think that's a disturbed eating habit. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? So this is like, if you didn't know, this is from like what, a couple months ago, but I'm going back on it hard. Yeah. Dirty Randy by YouTube's Logic, eating 10,000 calories plus is normal and praised, but losing weight and fixing your health falls into eating disorders and gets taken down. Yup, and that's why we got the famous button.
Matt Damon.
Ain't that right? Ain't that right? All right, fam. So let's give away this Swole card. Remember, if you want to get access to tomorrow's accountability meeting, it's tomorrow at 12 noon Eastern time. Let me just pop over here. We got a little Sunday Swole here. Remember, 12 noon Eastern time tomorrow. If you want to join, look down below, swolenormousx.com. You can join for less than $3, get access to all the content inside Swole TV, and be there for all the announcements. We're going to talk a lot about this in detail tomorrow. Don't miss out on that. And let's see here. Let's give away this fucking beesh of a card, shall we? Hashtag all that stuff, like I mentioned. And of course, nope, too early. Wrong button. Nope. Wrong button. No one won yet. Awkward. I usually don't bust early, but sometimes, hey, sometimes it happens.
Matt Damon.
Oh, here we go. Music time. Sunday Swole. Just got an alert on my phone for a flash flood warning. Flash of flood. Have you seen my baseball? Sunday Swole? Who got Sunday Swole? Anyone? Beulah? No. Sunday Swole. Got a bunch of APSs. Amy, congratulations. Amy. I guess Eric, that's your wife, right? Hey, she won. Congratulations. Very, very nice. Some Sunday Swole. Very nice. Congratulations. Send us an email to support@swolenormous.com and send us the email, of course. I just said that already. I'm a tard.
You in full retard.
I know. Swole card 1647 in the subject and your mailing address in the body of the email. Everyone say congratulations, Amy. Congratulations. You won the Swole card. Congratulations. Here's your Swole card. Nope. Fucking get out of here, Falcon. Fuck off. You're a savage beast. You're a savage beast, my goodness.
Matt Damon.
He's heating up!
All right, fare thee well, my sweet princess. Fare thee well, my sweet bish. No, you want to recount. Rescroll. Very nice, my piano time. One round tonight. Yesterday we went really deep. Very nice. We got it now. Thank you for being here, fam. It's been very nice having you on the live cast. You know we do this every single day right here on the Daily Swole channel. Hit that motherfucking subscribe button, and of course, make sure you follow on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Leave a 5-star review if you enjoy the podcast. On Apple Podcasts, just leave a fucking 5-star review, you fucking cunt. Just do it. Don't be a bitch. Don't be a boosh. I still love you. All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me for episode 1647 of the most muscular Swolecast, Beardcast, Broadcast, Gaincast, Mancast, Pimpcast, Sleevescast, and Slaycast in the realm. Because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. We'll see you tomorrow, 12 noon Eastern time. New releases, discussions on what we can be expecting for the last few weeks of 2020 and 2021. We're going to talk about that. Remember, you got a brand new episode of Red, White, and Swole available now. You can go and just shift on over to that. And so Red, White, and Swole on your favorite podcast app, wherever you're listening to this. Let's see what else we got here. Swolenormous audio experience might have another one there later, but anyway, go check all that out. And of course, we got some more content coming tomorrow on all the channels. Big stuff coming. So thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Peace, McGeese. Deuce, Magoose. Ya boy, Papa Swolio. Out.
Crazy flow, need a straight jacket. Cash flow, I'm a bank addict. 6 subs, had the bass smacking. 808, had the place clapping. 3 girls is enough for me, so I pull out like the stock crashing. Like an IPO, trying to purchase me. This a private sector, so you can't have it. Faking all that boom bapping. Who you think you is, boy? 90s want they sound back, so I give rap all these fake rappers as I take matters in my own hands. I don't need rapping, I don't need Zans. I don't need help, I'm a grown man. Now the king left and they so mad, it's like...
Yeah, I found that young king with my crown at 10 racks in the fanny pack, couple hundred in the Louis bag.
That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you laid. That's a bed that you laid. What kind of game is you playing? We go hard in the paint. We go hard in the paint. What the fuck is you saying? I only go where they pay. What kind of game is you playing? Yeah, whoa, my shit is relevant. On topic, my melanin is popping. I'm taking skeletons on closets and making new deposits. I'm